They want us to talk about it like it's a little story when really these are major agendas that we're discussing.
And then what's the stuff that's happening with Wendy Williams? Do you think this is all connection too?
Of course. They've been waiting. He's been waiting. He was waiting for Kim. Yeah.
So it looks like Katt Williams is not done spilling the industry tea, and this time it's all about Wendy Williams and her recent struggles. Now, the grapevine is buzzing with rumors suggesting that Diddy might have had a hand in Wendy's guardianship, and word on the street is that Diddy, with all his influence and connections, might have played a role in bringing Wendy's empire crashing down. So apparently Diddy's name has popped up in connection with Britney Spears' conservatorship mess. Turns out Diddy has some shady ties to the folks involved in Britney's downfall. And get this, Britney was supposedly partying with Diddy just before her infamous breakdown in 2007. You know how there were all these rumors flying around about Diddy allegedly spiking champagne bottles? Well, there's talk going around that Diddy might have pulled the same stunt with Britney.
Britney asked for a copy of her performance.
Perhaps her performance was less than polished because of all the partying she got in Sin City rather than rehearsal time. Late Friday night, Britney hit 3 hotspots and was snapped at Caesar's Palace at Pure nightclub with P. Diddy. Saturday night, she hit the dance floor again. And last night, after leaving the awards, Britney was spotted at Noir nightclub until 2:30 this morning, where she apparently spent most of her time in the restroom.
So since we now know that Diddy has close business ties with people who specialize in putting celebrities under conservatorship, it's got everyone wondering if Diddy had a hand in everything that's happened to Wendy. Well, Katt Williams seems to have the inside scoop, so let's break it all down.
Like, it's a terrible story. Like, it's the worst imaginable story. But you have to put yourself in the mind of somebody that can't walk away.
So, in case you're out of the loop, this animosity between Wendy Williams and Diddy has been brewing for ages, mainly fueled by Wendy's boldness in publicly calling out Diddy's rumored double life and alleged misdeed. Their clash reached a boiling point when Wendy got her hands on some seriously scandalous snapshots of Diddy cozying up to another man while on vacation in Cancun. But before Wendy could even dish out the details, Diddy reportedly pulled the plug on her show and slapped a citywide ban on her, cautioning every radio station in the Big Apple to keep their distance from her. According to Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal, Diddy engineered Wendy's ousting from her radio gig. Diddy allegedly flexed his power by sending out stern warnings to radio stations all over New York, effectively putting Wendy on a broadcasting blacklist.
In New York City, when she put out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down, and it looked like some gay act that was going on, he got on the phone. When we got back to New York City, Wendy Williams was in Philly at a new station.
Wow.
That's the power he had.
Wendy later seemingly confirmed the story during an interview on Vlad TV, and she said she felt like she was being burned at the stake for speaking out about the prevalence of closeted men in the hip-hop scene.
But we come from a very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career, and it's all coming full circle now, so.
And as if that wasn't enough, an old clip recently resurfaced where Wendy spilled some serious tea about Diddy, alleging that he sent a girl group signed by Bad Boy to jump her at her place of business.
I remember I got off the air one day and them total bitches were downstairs waiting, and everybody upstairs at the radio station is looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down.
And get this, Jaguar Wright recently dropped some more bombshells in her new interview on Real Life Productions, revealing that Wendy was the first one who publicly exposed this group of men she called homo thugs.
Was that
Shout out to Wendy Williams, the first woman to uncover the homo thugs. That's what these down low bitches was called when Wendy first started talking about it in the 90s, the homo thug. She talking about Diddy.
As for allegations that Diddy had something to do with Wendy's current situation, Jaguar didn't hold back, and she claimed that Diddy most likely set Wendy up, just like he allegedly did with his ex Kim Porter.
And then what's the stuff that's happening with Wendy Williams? You think this is all connection to?
Of course. They've been waiting. He's been waiting. He was waiting for Kim. Remember? He was waiting. The casket was ready. She was literally casket ready.
But hold on to your hats because there's more. Jaguar also spilled some tea about Katt Williams and hinted that Katt's life could be in danger since he's been exposing the dark side of the industry. In fact, Jaguar even suggested that Katt has had to resort to sleeping in a bulletproof vest at one point.
You know, back in that moment, Katt was still wearing Kevlar to bed.
Now keep in mind that Wendy Williams wasn't just spilling tea about Diddy's rumored double life. That's been old news in the industry since the 90s, and it's unlikely that Diddy would go to such lengths to silence Wendy just because of gay rumors alone. But see, Wendy has had the inside scoop on a whole laundry list of Diddy's alleged misdeeds, and she's been publicly exposing him for decades. Wendy was one of the first ones to openly challenge the verdict in that 1999 club trial when Diddy allegedly set Shine up to take the fall for him, despite multiple eyewitnesses claiming Diddy fired inside the club.
Pulled the trigger, whatever. Puffy ran out of the club so fast and got into the waiting SUV that it wasn't until he got into the truck that he realized that he left Jennifer behind, along with his bodyguard, Anthony Wolf. He just ran. Forget it. That's a true sign of an itch bag, by the way. Leaving his
I thought it was an unk pay.
Well, eventually, Jennifer and Wolf made their way to the SUV without Puffy.
Right.
They ran 11 lights to elude the cops. Supposedly it was Puffy, although people are saying they saw a female hand tossing. And then when the cops stopped them, they found a second in the car.
Right.
All four of the occupants, the driver, the bodyguard, Puffy and Jennifer, were handcuffed and taken down to the precinct. And eventually, Puffy and his bodyguard, Wolf, were overheard talking about their plot to bribe the driver to take the rap for them. And Puffy was overheard saying, and I quote, because the prosecutor said this, "I can't go to jail, I'm Puff Daddy."
And then when Wendy moved from radio to TV, Diddy pretty much became a regular topic on her show.
But okay, he was arrested with a deadly weapon and battery and making terroristic threats. So then he gets out to the weight room and proceeds to swing a kettle at allegedly, this is the kettle. When you go to the gym, that's the one where you do this. Ow, I hate them. One day I'm gonna get so mad at the gym, I'm just gonna let it go and shatter the mirror. Anyway, but proceeded to allegedly, swing the kettle at an intern. So the cops were called, Puffy was arrested. I'm sure it wasn't an overnight stay, but there's got to be more to the story. And I would also think that wouldn't they perhaps want to now kick Justin off the team on the basis of what his hot-headed father did?
Wendy also didn't shy away from addressing Cassie's relationship with Diddy, and she'd often talk about how something was off about that whole arrangement.
Cassie, 8 years wasted, no baby. So now what will happen? Well, she and Puffy have allegedly split up. This is a beautiful dress, by the way, that she has on. And Puffy, you look great for all the hard partying that we've all been through after a particular, period in our lives. Reportedly, Cassie found out that Puffy was cheating on her with another woman.
And here's a little known fact. Wendy was actually ahead of the curve when it came to sounding the alarm about Cassie's safety. 3 whole years before Cassie managed to break free from Diddy's grip, Wendy was already raising concerns about her well-being. Let's rewind to 2015. Cassie and Diddy hit a rough patch in their relationship, allegedly due to Diddy's violent outbursts. Cassie had to flee to South Africa just to escape Diddy and his goons, and guess what? Wendy wasn't afraid to talk about it on her show. She pointed out that Cassie must be terrified knowing that that Diddy could easily track her down anywhere in the world and pay people off to sweep his wrongdoings under the rug.
And she allegedly has been avoiding Puffy. And, you know, my thing about when you date a mogul is that it's really difficult to avoid them because if you use your head, you never know when they're going to pop up on the scene. Like, he's mogul. Like,
man, Wendy Williams looks scary as hell, bro.
he can hire a plane right now, zoom it to South Africa, land on the roof of the hotel where she's staying, okay? Pay people off at the front desk, give me the key and let me up in her room. Like, I'm already paranoid as a person. But to know that somebody could actually swoop down on me in the middle of nothing would scare the bejesus out of me.
Now fast forward to 2023, and Cassie drops that bombshell lawsuit against Diddy, confirming pretty much everything Wendy had been warning us about years earlier, including how she tried to escape Diddy multiple times, but he'd always send people to find her and even paid off hotel staff to get rid of the security footage showing him getting physical with her. Wendy really had this uncanny ability to see right through the smoke and mirrors, especially when it came to Diddy. She didn't hold back, calling out all the details that we are buzzing about today. But here's a twist you might not even have seen coming. Back in 2017, just a few months before Cassie made her great escape, Diddy made a surprise appearance on the Wendy Williams show, and it looked like they might have buried the hatchet. They were joking around, poking fun at their past beef, and it seemed like they were all buddy-buddy again.
I know I pissed a lot of people off, including you. Mm-hmm. But this is a full circle moment, everybody.
Yes.
Get into adult conversation.
Yeah.
But fast forward to 2024, and that same interview feels like a whole different ballgame. If you pay close attention to the body language, it's like Diddy was shooting Wendy some serious side-eye. Almost like he was silently warning her to toe the line and not mess with him.
I must say it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And I want to just tell you how proud I am of you. Because I don't think you get enough credit for being the first one to really cover our culture, you know, hip-hop culture and also hip-hop celebrities and just understanding that it's news, not just saying that's all that you cover, but you started shedding light on our culture and our people, and thank you very much.
Watching these old interviews and seeing how Wendy was so full of life is truly gut-wrenching, especially when you think about her current state. And it makes you wonder, did Diddy have a hand in speeding up or worsening her medical condition? I mean, with all the whispers swirling around about celebrities being medicated against their will, it's hard not to speculate about what goes on behind closed doors in Hollywood. Just take a look at some of the stories we've heard. Dave Chappelle, Britney Spears, Kanye West, they've all openly discussed how their handlers pushed medication on them, trying to convince them that they were crazy. And here's the thing, it's not just a few isolated incidents. It seems like a recurring theme in Hollywood. Whenever a celebrity dares to speak out or challenge the status quo, suddenly they're labeled as unstable, battling addiction, or slapped with a conservatorship. And even Katt Williams recently opened up about this, shining a light on how he tried to sound the alarm on figures like R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, and Diddy ages ago. But instead of being hailed a hero, he faced threat and was told to keep quiet.
Because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing...
You will tell it?
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it.
As for Wendy, she was the queen of digging up dirt on the big shots in Hollywood. So now her fans can't help but wonder if there are dark forces at play behind the scenes. Here's what folks online are saying about Wendy's situation. Soon as Wendy Williams started exposing Diddy, her health started to rapidly deteriorate. Now she can barely remember who she is, which is sad. 5 months after Diddy visits her show, Wendy passes out on the Halloween episode. I don't know what kind of sorcery or possible poisoning happened. This just can't be coincidental. She's paying for her bravery. I believe she's being slowly poisoned. But how do you feel about everything that's been going down with Wendy lately? Do you think there's a chance Diddy pulled some strings to shut her up because she knew too many of his dirty secrets? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
And you gotta think, Puff Daddy come to Wendy Williams studio.
he not coming by himself. The bodyguards and the muscle that he got will probably over-influence her staff. Yeah, let us in that refrigerator. Yeah, let us over there. Let us over here. Where did she put this? Where did she put that? Where she put this? You never know what's being slipped in somebody's drink or something like that. But y'all let me know what y'all feel in the comments, man. Y'all let me know what y'all feel. Big Kish signing out. I'm gone, man.